Hello, my name is Ben Griffith, and I am here to pitch a 4-month pilot program for my project called Resource Relay. This is for LIS 685 Change in Project Management with Dr. Noah Lenstra. I wanted to start with a quote from Mr. Rogers, possibly the most famous neighbor of all. All of us at some time or other need help. Whether we're giving or receiving help, each one of us has something valuable to bring to this world. That's one of the things that connects us as neighbors. In our own way, each one of us is a giver and a receiver. I believe that Mr. Rogers' spirit is still alive in communities like Littleton. Our town does have resource sharing systems in place. Some communities don't. These little free libraries, food cabinets, and informal donation points are active and supported by volunteers. But they exist in isolation. There's a component missing in our communities that brings these separate efforts into one unified force: coordination. And the gap between resources and their intended destination means that needs are often invisible even when resources exist nearby. In my outreach work with Warren County Public Library, just one county over from us, and in my experience living in Halifax County, I have always seen a gap in the visibility of resources and the needs that they are trying to meet. Resource Relay is designed to address that gap by introducing coordination without replacing what already works. To begin my pitch, I am requesting approval of a 4-month pilot partnership with Halifax County Public Library in Littleton. This also includes a staff liaison or volunteer lead for 3 to 4 hours per week, just small windows of time most days, to assist with coordination and communication, and permission to promote the platform through library communication channels in collaboration with friends of HCPL to support development, outreach, and volunteer engagement. Additionally, we would partner with local produce farmers and Slice 325 to offer a series of cooking classes at a low cost, with planned sponsorships to cover this cost, highlighting some of the local foods and connecting them to literature that is available in our information spaces. And there will be more on that in a moment, but for now, I want to focus on what is Resource Relay. Well, I'm glad you asked. Resource Relay is a simple digital platform that allows community members to coordinate, request, and redistribute resources across informal sharing locations. Rather than replacing existing systems, it acts as a supplementary infrastructure that connects sites, their stewards, volunteers, and local organizations. The goal is to preserve the independence at each grassroots location while improving visibility across the network of both community needs and available resources. This pilot is started with an intentionally smaller, focused scope to test community coordination at a local level before expanding further. And here is that scope. The Phase 1 pilot focuses on a small network of locations just here in Littleton. This network would include one residential Little Free Library, two food sharing cabinets, one near an Episcopalian church and one on Main Street, and the local library branch with its Friends bookstore next door. This focused scope allows for controlled implementation while testing how coordination functions in a real community context. A possible use case scenario in this community is where a community member uses the main street food cabinet and notices that shelves are empty shortly after both cabinets were restocked. The individual can then submit a request through the online portal to indicate there is a need. There will also be paper cards with a small drop box at each location for non-electronic requests. However, it would indicate that this would be a slightly longer wait time, like 2 to 3 days. In this use case, a registered volunteer browsing the online community page sees this request and responds by moving resources from an overstocked Episcopalian food cabinet over to Main Street. The interaction here displays the core resource values of Resource Relay by transforming isolated acts of generosity into useful, coordinated community responses. This pilot is designed to test three primary assumptions. First, that increased visibility improves sharing behavior. Second, that community needs will be reported as they arise. And third, that volunteers and stewards will respond when coordination is made simpler. These form the foundation from which we derive our metrics of success through engagement, requests, and actual redistribution activity, like our use case here between the two sites. One assumption that we cannot make is community buy-in. We have to give our community our time, and a little more than just paper materials. Maybe it is the ex-preacher kid in my background, but I have seen food bring people together from so many different perspectives in my past. Whether it's the church potluck or a library cooking program, food connects community to an institution's programs and often garners their continued support. Although this would be the primary expense up front at an estimated $1,000 to facilitate and run a 6-week cooking course, this provides an opportunity to connect stakeholders with potential produce suppliers. With the possibility of expanding sites to include a refrigerated space, produce would be a wonderful way to connect farmers directly with people in need of surplus. It also provides the best possible outreach opportunity to host sessions of up to 30 community members at a time, targeting the window of summer reading when many families circulate through the library and would benefit from this programming. Shamika McNeil with Slice 325 provided sessions ranging from heart healthy eating to how to budget for shopping, and a range of these could lead to perfectly into informal sessions on our new local resource relay initiative as a collaboration with the Friends of HCPL. Somehow, she always managed to feed the entire room, practically the entire room, an entire meal, every session at about $200 a session, including travel at the time. She has always been extremely generous. We could potentially time these sessions to align with weekly stakeholder check-ins to ensure we hold regular in-person communication while holding to our timeline. A key part of this project is the community participation, which is why I wanted to focus on that at the start. And it will require that small investment from a local financial partner to support that. With Warren County Public Library, we actually partnered with Triangle North Healthcare, and they covered the entire thing as long as we provided some branded materials. Based on feedback during development, one of the most important factors for success is taking this extra time to build trust and shared understanding across groups, even if it would delay the second month because we're focused on that first month. We could extend this timeline to 6 if we needed an extra month or two. Because of that, the pilot does include time for meetings, demonstrations, and ongoing communication to ensure the system fits the community, and we do want to build in the cooking classes as part of that outreach. It's also important to emphasize that the pilot is an opportunity to grow together rather than to compete. By partnering first with an organization such as HCPL, we are positioned to find that additional support from an organization such as Triangle North Healthcare, and this would lead us to a successful pilot program through the rest of the 4 months. In the first month, we would focus on confirming participation of our primary HCPL organization and the 3 initial pilot locations. Then we finalize the initial website features and ensure baseline user experience. Pending approval of HCPL, we conduct an initial meeting of stakeholders, and after that, we introduce and train for using the resource relay infrastructure. And finally, we do ensure that matching sponsorships are secured for that cooking series, and if any additional costs arise during our planning sessions. In the second month, if we are able to move ahead, we start with a soft launch of the website to ensure members are confident using the discussion board. Then we begin accepting resource requests and volunteer registrations through the community page. During these initial responses, we fine-tune resource redistribution logistics across Littleton and begin hosting the Slice 325 cooking sessions as a joint venture with HCPL Friends. In the third month, we have observation and continued outreach. We monitor participation levels and request levels. We make sure that feedback forms are distributed to all stakeholders. That way we can get some of that feedback before we need to report it. We encourage community engagement through continued outreach efforts and cooking classes, leading to the final month of the pilot, the fourth month, which is evaluation and observation, starting by assessing qualitative and quantitative data, culminating in a usability report. We identify continued or new barriers to participation. After that, we refine website features and communication strategies before finalizing a plan for a second phase, of course, pending results from the usability report and HCPL. Finally, we request continued financial support to develop food outreach curriculum if we continue that. For my role in this project, I am here to support, implement, and evaluate the system during the pilot phase, working directly with community partners to refine it. Resource Relay is an attempt to strengthen existing locations and connect communities of sharing through their most generous and caring contributors. This pilot is a first step in testing whether increased visibility can lead to more timely and equitable resource sharing. Future phased iterations could include expansion to nearby communities or collaboration with neighboring county libraries. Although Halifax does have multiple library locations in its system, there are large swaths of the county that are completely underserved and underfunded. We should make a list of potential sites and assess them as part of Phase 2 development, ensuring that the least served areas receive the most continued support. Adding enhanced resource tracking, organizational partnerships, and building further integration with library outreach could ensure that this would be a continued staple of the community. Working with funding organizations such as the Library of NC or NC Humanities could also allow Resource Relay to grow further through expanded development. I appreciate your time, and here is the current website URL. Thank you.